Hey guys, it's Scrappy Steffi. I just wanted to show a project share real quickly. Um, I did finish the recipe book that I was working on for my sister, and I've just worked a little bit here and there, and I am plan on giving it to her tomorrow, so I wanted to do a video real quick and share it. I used many different paper collections, papers, hodgepodges, one here, one there, several here, several there. I used a lot of stickers. I did some printouts off the internet. I did put a couple of corners, metal corners here, and I did do a little charm. Well, let's turn it around this way. So this just says made with love, and I've got a little piece of pizza there, and then I've got a knife, a spoon, and a fork, which I picked up at Tuesday morning a while back. And then I just used a little piece of gross grain ribbon here. I wanted this book to be more functional, and I toyed with a lot of different laces, and then I thought, if it has a lot of lace and frou-frou on it, I think she's less likely to use it. So, and then this actually is just tied to the gross grain ribbon, so she can actually even take this off if she would like. Her name is Julie, and this book, the front and the back cover, was an old 1950, I believe it was 1950s, if I'm not mistaken, or maybe 70s. It was old. Betty Crocker cookbook. I think it said dinner for two or something like that. So I did use that, and I'm just going to share really quick. Oh, sorry. Share really quickly. I've got a tripod here, or not a tripod. It's a extend a arm, however you want to call it. It just lifts the camera up high, but it's very, very sensitive, so I have to be very careful. I'll just show some of the journaling cards that I made. This is just a pocket. I've used lots of stickers. And I'll just show some of the little cards here. You guys will probably, this outline was a stamp that I got. I don't remember all of the stickers, all the papers. And there are so many, it would take me all night to try to piece apart every one. This was a journaling card, and on the back I've got this, and then when you open it up on the inside, it is from the book. I want to say this was 50s, late 50s, I believe. It's the equivalent chart, and so I've just kind of made it as a little booklet. I also had a magazine that I picked up at an antique mall, and it was Sissy Clegg, and it was from 1955 or 6. And it's like a kind of a cookbook kind of magazine, but there are wonderful, wonderful advertisements in this magazine. And as hard as it was for me to cut it up, because when I get magazines like this, I tend to salivate. I absolutely love them. I love the old advertisements. I just love looking at all the old pictures. So this background was from that magazine. When I was a child, there was an A&P store in the town that my grandmother lived in, and I would go with her and my grandpa to this A&P. And so A&P kind of has a special memory for me. This picture right here came out of a 1930s cookbook. And then I've just added some stickers. I did use some washi, and it's cook related, food related. I've got a couple tuck spot opportunities here for some recipes. And then here, these are vintage recipe cards that I picked up at a antique mall. And then I've made some out of just a paper pad, just a decorative paper pad. I made some recipe opportunities food opportunities for her to write down. This again is from that Sissy Clegg magazine. Love that. I think it was advertising Siltest ice cream. You guys probably will recognize this as Cafe Parisian. I did put a couple little tags in this little pocket here. There's some spot where she can write some things down. This is just decorative. This plastic sleeve, I don't know where I got it from, but this came from kind of a yard sale, but it wasn't a yard sale. It was actually given to a friend of mine, and she knew I was doing a recipe journal, but it was just an old box of stuff that came from somebody who, I don't know if they went to a nursing home or where they went to, but anyways, I don't think these are too super old. I'm guessing 80s maybe, but there's all different kind of pie, quiche recipes in here, and I thought that would be really cute to tuck in here into this little sleeve, and also she can tuck other things in there as well. An advertisement from that magazine, and then I've tucked a recipe card from one of the paper collections. I believe this came from Hobby Lobby, if I'm not mistaken. Over here, I've taken an envelope and added a little bit extra. This is Cafe Liberty. Got a little pin here. Here's a couple of recipe cards that I've made, and then here's a tuck spot that's slid in here, and recipe card, and then here's a recipe for apple crisp. And then on this side with Cafe Parisian, if you look over here, it's a recipe for strawberry shortcake. This came out of that Sissy Clegg magazine. And then this came from Crafty Secrets. An applesauce cake came from Sissy Clegg. And then she can fold it this way, but when you turn it over, then it opens up, and here's some tuck spots from Cafe Parisian little journal cards. And she can use it for a recipe or whatever she wants to use there. Because the paper pad that I have is only an 8x8, I did have to connect, and so I used some kind of orange colored washi that kind of went with the paper. Just got a belly band here with some recipe cards. Several recipe cards there. I did some pearls up there. This is a advertisement from that Sissy Clegg magazine, and then I've got a clear plastic pocket here. This is just a journal, or excuse me, a shopping list that I copied off the internet, and then I made a bookmark for her. Make sure I got the right opening here. So if she's, using another book, another cookbook, excuse me, or a magazine, she can use this as a bookmark to hold her place. And just some more recipe pages that I've created. This is a tuck spot here for a couple of recipe cards that I've got. I actually just made this out of a index card. I've got stamps that have these on there. And then there's a couple little grocery list and cards, and I don't remember where I got those from. This is from Crafty Secrets, I believe. And this was too pretty to cover up. There's so many neat elements to this page. I did add a little sticker up here, but otherwise there's too many elements. I didn't want to cover it up. She can write something if she'd like. Just took some notebook paper, did some stamping, add some stickers. She can write some recipes down. I left this blank so that she can use this for writing. There's some measuring equivalents again, and I also left this blank. She can add a recipe, she can add a photo, whatever she'd like. She can write on it. This paper is a Hobby Lobby paper. More notebook paper that I've just stamped. And then this is just a little tuck here. There's a couple of, this is some more conversions, teaspoon conversions. There's a recipe for cinnamon coffee bars that came out of the old cookbook. And here is Cafe Parisian. I've got a couple different little tuck spots here. I've got some recipe card. Well, there's one recipe card. This is from Seven Gypsies, and then this is just something that I created. And then a little tuck spot here. I've just got a recipe on the back. I've stamped it, Spice of Life, with this salt and pepper shaker. And then I've added a ingredient for tomato sauce. This is I hate housework. You make the beds, wash the dishes, and 6 months later you have to do it all over again. Special of the week. It's got some food on there. And then this came from that one of the old cookbooks. I'm not sure which one it came from, but it's How to Set the Table for Lunch in 1950 style. I just thought that was kind of neat. And I just used Cafe Parisian, so it's just got some of the stamps on the back there. I used Authentique, Let Your Inner Domestic Goddess Shine, and I got a tuck spot here. This I left blank so she can write, and then this is a tuck spot. Just some Polaroid journal cards, and then this said my pride preserved. That's hard to say. And then I've stamped ingredients and instructions in case she wants to add a recipe there. And then this came from the 1950s cookbook, from this Betty Crocker cookbook. I thought this was really neat. In several of the pages, they have little tips called Be Pennywise. And they're just little economical tips, 1950 style. Compare prices when shopping. Remember which stores have special values on certain items. Be Pennywise. Use non-fat dry milk. Prepare a quart and keep it in the refrigerator to use it in all your cooking, especially white sauce. Interesting. And then the last page, I did take another picture from that Sissy Clegg. I absolutely love that. I did glue it down, but I added some washi for decorative. And then I put a sleeve, clear plastic sleeve on top, added some stickers. I did add a little Mrs. Wonderful there. And then I've just got a few more recipe cards to tuck in there. And that's it. That's the back of the book. I did, originally I had planned that I was going to make sections and have, you know, a bread section and a vegetable section and a dessert section, but I quickly found out that that was going to make the book much too wide and much too thick, and I was going to do it on my cinch, and then after I got started I decided because I used so many different elements and so many different sizes, and I just decided it was easier to do the 3-ring binding. And then I also had contemplated Mod Podging, but the book has just a vintage worn feel to it, and to me, if I Mod Podge that kind of takes away from that. So I decided to leave it as is. I did cover up the Betty Crocker label here and put Julie's, and then this was from the internet. And I did the same on the bottom down here. It says Julie's recipe book. So that's my little recipe journal. It's, you know, kind of eclectic. It's not really, it doesn't adhere to any certain pattern or any certain element. It is unique. So I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I thank you for watching as always. Bye-bye.